Alright, let's get this set up. So I want that box where it will appear. Not there, maybe. Set to live chat, yeah, now. I want to anchor that on top. Set top, and then I want to make the opacity. Alright, Rajiv, good to see you on straight away, so that means it's sent the thing out. I'm just going to do some easy red 2 again. Is it? It's because this keyboard's got the buttons in a slightly different place. It was Alt-S, I think I wanted to play, so... Window top, click through mode, enable for Windows, Studio YouTube live chat, excellent. Right, although I'm going to play Easy Red 2, I was just going to quickly set something up on Melville Idle before I started doing that. So, yeah, you're actually on straight away, Wasp Freak. So, yeah, they actually sent the notification out bang on time today, which is great. So I am going to go on Easy Red 2 in a second. I might change the lighting, because I had to reset that lighting up today. I might just use that light if it looks right. I'll check how it looks in a second. I was just going to set the cartography thing to auto. Do stuff. Auto survey, there we go. Now I can go back to Easy Red 2. Right, and yeah, the buttons, let's just see. The buttons, I need to press spaces, but... Yep, the things work behind the chat window, which is great. Yeah, it's actually today seems to have sent it out straight away for people. So yeah, I've got the new keyboard and mouse. The new mouse seems excellent. Keyboard, what's really annoying, and again, it's actually not too bad because this one's quite well built, but it's still annoying, is because YouTube is so shit now, not YouTube, because Amazon now is so shit at doing the thing where, you know when you type in the type of product you want, and then it randomly puts products in the listings of things you've searched for that aren't what you searched for. So I specifically looked up mechanical keyboards, and this one ended up being a rubber dome keyboard. It's actually quite a good rubber dome keyboard, which is sacrilege for me to say, but I don't hate typing on this thing. So I'm not going to send it back or whatever, and it was literally advertised as a rubber dome one. Just when I specifically searched mechanical keyboards, Amazon stuck it halfway down the listings. And I went for this one because it was well priced and well sized, but seems all right. So I'll put up with it, and then if after payday I get another mechanical keyboard or the other one I repair it or whatever, then this can be a spare. But like I said, typing on this so far, type speed isn't as good as a mechanical keyboard, but it's not like those squishy horrible rubber domes. They're actually they're still quite responsive for rubber domes, so I don't mind it too much. So let's carry on just where I was yesterday. So yeah, this is good with this window because I can do all this stuff behind the window, look, which is great. And it's set to live chat, and I can get the stuff there. And oh, again, I can do that here, so I can say if I wanted the opacity a bit higher to see your chat window a bit better. I could maybe have that on 80%. Okay, so I was doing Tunisia's southern operations, wasn't I? Because I'd already completed northern operations. Southern operations was like one of the newer campaigns they added. So Britain versus Germany, holding at Fala or Tala or whatever that is. Let's set it just to the default thing at this moment, 56 max units. So about the size of like a 64-player Battlefield game. But like I said, sort of you can have hundreds of units in this game, but then it gets a bit chaotic. Again, there is a crop function on this, but I can't remember exactly how you do it. What does the anchor one do? Ah, see, it stops you moving it about when you've got anchor on. Okay. We won't have anchor on because I might want to move it. Yeah, I can't remember how you actually... Oh, enable crop. There we go. So what I can do then is, I assume... Oh, yeah. Oh, cancel that. Let's try that again. I'm just going to see if I can do this crop thing. So enable crop, and then let's see if we can just stretch it around that bar there. So I won't need where it says chat, because I'm not going to be typing in it. Then crop that. Ah, yeah, perfect. Ah, it's even better, yeah. I probably will buy the premium version of this stuff when the trial expires, because that is really useful having that where I can crop it. It's not as bad a pop-up box now, is it? Can actually shrink that down, stretch that up. I'll have it like that and see how it goes. I assume I'll just check that on my phone that it's not in the way of my camera picture. Let's play with Britain anyway. Yeah, actually, is that in the way of it? So, Wasp Freaks thing where it says hours later. I might just move that up ever so slightly. So, let's do it to about there. And then, yeah, that should go. So let's try a Spitfire to start with Mark 2A. Yeah, that looks good. Right, I can turn my screen off again now. Concentrate on this chat and the game. Just turn the volume up a bit more. I think I've already got the in-game volume on this set fairly low, so that'll be why if you can't hear stuff very well, it's because of the in-game volume being low. I might turn it up in a minute. I'll have a look. Alright, do the Germans have any Stukas or anything are actually shooting down with the Spitfire? Oh shit. Well, they do have a tank over there, so I'm going to dive on that. I was good for his half track.
Okay, it's time to retreat, boys.
Yeah, let's just have a look. So, master volume. Yeah, let's put the FX up, and we'll put the master volume up to about 20-odd%. Again, the sound effects aren't this game's strong point. Like, same with the graphics. It's the strong point of this is more that it's just you know, a very small indie team that used to be one guy and apparently now is a few people. Just trying to make like an accurate World War II sort of battlefield thing. You know, not any like weird stuff that wouldn't be in the stuff of the time period, but they got attacked there. Yeah, they have. Okay. So that was what was causing the issues. Oh, that's good. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played much recently other than the games you've seen me playing on here. Like I said, the new Resident Evil, if I can afford it and it's good after people do like genuine reviews of it, I'll check that out. But yeah, at the moment I can't really afford to keep buying games, because again, like covered it in the video today, but there's like the UK unemployment figures. They're actually you know, like you'd think, not good. Despite what the government says of, oh, lots of people are in work, all this, oh, no, you're fucking liars. Of course they're not. We all know that the, you know, economy's not doing well and all that sort of stuff, despite how much the government lies about it. Oh, we're fixing the foundations, all that, and it's, yeah, it's gone to shit. But yeah, the good news is they've had to, ah, you saw it, did you? Excellent. I haven't checked the comments for it yet. But yeah, I suppose you saw the thing, did you, as well, about that they, legally now, they've been taken to court and they've lost about, or they, you know, conceded it or whatever, that, you know, they can't legally stop elections, because we all knew that should have been the case, but they did it anyway. Oh, I got fucked, okay. But yeah, you know, the whole thing of, where they were doing the thing of like, oh, we're not going to have local council elections and all that, and then it turns out that, Wolverine. Oh, it sounds good, Rajiv. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, basically, what ended up happening is the government with this thing tried to cancel elections and just said like, oh, people are going to vote for us anyway, so we don't need elections. And then, again, these are council ones, not the full-on, again, I don't know what the velocity is of the Wolverine's gun, so, this is a 76, like, shim and 76 millimeter Wolverine, I don't know. But, yeah, they basically, sort of, there we go, said, you know, oh, you don't need elections, all this, and then, yeah, they've been told by the courts, because people took them to court over it, no, that's completely illegal in a democracy, you have to have elections, whether you like it or not. Again, these are for council things, not the full-on, like, general election, but it's still Labour councils that were trying to deny people the right of having a vote. Oh, we got fucked, did we? Yeah. Despite how many dead Germans there were. Oh, said item to fight, da 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 da. Yeah, hopefully your exercises fix it in that Rajiv, as best they can. Right, I will play Germany then, if because this might be a mission that's really fucking hard to do as yeah, I got a 109 and a 110. Hans Adolf Kaiser. What a German name. Yeah, at one point when my back was really bad, I had physiotherapy and had a lot of exercises to do for my back, but that was obviously with the torn muscles. Yeah, again, there's a lot of propaganda in my country, because obviously, like I said, the problem is, Wasp, that our government keeps constantly telling us that everything is fine and, you know, only, like, stupid racists like me are the ones worrying about it. And again, that if you have any problem with what the government doing, you must be some fascist kind of whatever, you know. And again, most of the people that are fed up over here aren't racist and whatever at all, it's just that, you know, we've had a shitty government. The game, yeah, of course you can, it's Easy Red 2. So apparently this was originally just developed by one guy, and now it's a small dev team. But it's basically a kind of, a bit like Battlefield, but you know, where you can play as any of the units, and it's designed more for historical accuracy. There is online, but I'm just doing the campaign single player at the moment with bots. So I was just playing as Britain, but I just got my shit kicked in by the, Germans when I was playing as Britain. Oh, there go my legs. A mechanised fire team. But yeah, so like I said, Wasp, it's a case that over here that, like I said, the government is just making people angrier and angrier because they've been doing more and more undemocratic things in the, you know, argument that, oh, anybody opposes us is far right and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, no, just more and more people are getting pissed off with every single thing they're doing, left and right wing people. So yeah, Labour really need to get fucking kicked out of power, and then hopefully we can have a government that actually is fiscally responsible and, you know, all these sort of things, and actually looks after people, and those sort of things. But at the moment, yeah, we've got a government that does not give a shit about the people that live here. It's all, like the Tories, it was jobs for their mates and, like, rich and powerful people that they're, you know, friends with. And then it's, you know, that sort of shit. And again, when Keir Starmer was in opposition, he kept saying, like, you know, oh, I will have a government responsibility and you lot need to resign for all the things you've done wrong. And then he has scandal after scandal. Oh, I'm not going to go. Oh. But like I said, it's not just Keir Starmer, it's the whole top tier of the Labour Party. It's all another party for, you know. Yeah. Again, like I said, the Labour Party aren't even real socialists, because this is the thing now. That the Labour Party are just like the same sort of globalists as the Tory Party. So if you were an actual socialist, you wouldn't like them. because they're not doing anything to help the really poor people in this country. Like I said, all of the stuff that should be going to help the poorest people in Britain is the stuff that's going to the illegal immigrants to, you know, house them, feed them, give them legal aid and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, although I don't agree with all his policies, where I was listening to some of the things he was saying, I do think Rupert Lowe hit quite a few nails on the head the other day with the stuff he was saying. Like, you know, just fucking deport the lot of them. If you're an illegal immigrant, sorry. Well, not sorry. You're a fucking illegal immigrant and you don't deserve to be here. So fuck off back to your country or ask another country to let you in. But we're just sick of it now. And Oscar says, all the British media thinks that labelling opposition to the government's far-right extremism would scare people into obeying the government. Yeah, exactly, totalitarian behaviour, this is the thing, it's what they keep doing. They keep doing the thing of, we'll just threaten you more and more, and then you'll be good little serfs and shut up, and it's just making people angrier and angrier, because the more they, you know, suppress people's right to say stuff against the government, the more we think there must be a reason that we're, you know... Yeah, and it's not working, Rajiv, because apparently they're getting quite worried now that quite a lot of the Islamists they've let in and given the right to vote are now turning into more radical, you know, pro-Islamist parties, so they're not even going to vote for Labour in the first place. So that's worked out for them, hasn't it? Like, yeah, let's let in, you know, let in people that hate the culture of the country, and then, oh no, they're not even voting for us anymore, even though we gave them all that free shit. They're now, you know, voting for even more extreme parties. So yeah, like I said, the situation's fucked, but I do at least have hope that a lot of people now have sort of realised how bad it is, and we're going to have a bit of, you know, stuff to fix this. But like I said, it's a case of, you know, we just have to hope the right people get into power and then do what they said they'd actually do and don't carry on the problem. Because again, I don't want to be really negative about this, but I still doubt, you know, whichever political party comes in, even if they promise lots of good stuff, you have to hope they actually deliver it. Because the problem is, I still bet a lot of political parties would, you know, say they're going to do all these things and still break their word on it. Is there, there's an AT gun or something over there, isn't there? I should try and take that out. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Again, I keep doing the thing where I lean closer to the screen, like it's going to actually help me see something, but maybe I can free the screen. I think I've got quite a lot of artillery. I'm just going to destroy some of those AT guns, or AA guns, because even though, cool. Yeah, but like I said, the stuff they've done to us over here in the UK, they will try in America. This is the thing, because like I said, some of the Americans I speak to, you know, do the thing of like, oh my, I've got our rights, we got the Second Amendment, fuck you, lie me. They have that kind of attitude. But a lot of Americans do realise, like I say, that, you know, the stuff that happens to us is going to happen to you if, you know, the wrong kind of people are voted in. Because they will just do the thing of, you know, even if they can't outright stop the Second Amendment, they'll say, why do you need this calibre of gun? Nobody needs to hunt with this type of gun or whatever. And they'll start fucking about with it that way. You know, they'll keep doing all of those things like that. Oh, why do you need a 30-round magazine? You only need a 20-round magazine. Oh, why do you need a 20-round magazine? You only need a 10-round magazine. And they'll just keep chipping away at the Second Amendment like that. Because again, in Britain, guns didn't get banned overnight. They did the thing of, nobody needs semi-automatic rifles, you know, all that sort of stuff. Nobody needs pistols, you know. Yeah, like I said, it's a bit, because again, I speak to really dumb people in Britain as well. But, you know, that tell me I'm completely wrong about everything in this country, despite the fact I'm fucking living it and, you know, experiencing it myself. That everything is fine in this country and there's no problems with it. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's just that sort of thing that, yeah, in every country you need to really think about who you elect and fight for your rights, because there are lots of people who are probably all in the same globalist type parties that don't want people to have the rights to speak about the stuff they see. They don't want you to have the right to defend yourself or, you know, have a national identity or any of that. They want you all to basically live in the pod and eat the bugs, or whatever it is. Oh, it's Americans now rather than Brits. Oh well. Mein Panzer runs them over. Guten Morgen, Americano. Oh, there we go. That is definitely one of those missions that was easier as Germany. All I know is that they elected a leader that people were telling me about the other day that was apparently quite a cool leader, but I haven't looked too much into Japan, you know, with everything else going on. So yeah, a lot of people were saying the new female PM is good, but like I said, I don't know much about her, but again, most people I've spoken to say she is good, so, you know. Ooh, Crusader free. Right, so this is the defence one, right? The enemy has 235 men, so we need to just stop the Germans overrunning our sector. Right, so the map. So what, are we holding a hill by the look of it to start with? Yep. Right, 57mm, so it's 6-pounder, isn't it, in this? Which again, unless I come into contact with tigers, is pretty good. There's some Germans. They might actually be Italians looking at them. I think they're Italians. That guy's a German, a stout man. HE. Yeah, I thought to probably take out their armour seeing as I have a tank. You are a mod, Rajiv. What, did somebody ask you why you're mod? Oh. Might upset the owner. You can ask the questions, it depends. It does seem a bit weird why you're saying may upset the owner. I mean, mods can allow comments if they get hidden, but not if they get hidden by YouTube outright. Yeah, again, like I said, again, I don't know, because personally I don't go on any forums where people talk about shit like that. Again, I know more and more people in reality are buying, like, defensive things, shall we say, or offensive things, depends how you want to look at it. But, like, again, every time you get big political, you know, fuck-ups where somebody does a mass stabbing or whatever like that, you get generally people looking at body armour, and I know that from my own views going up. And I know sometimes on Amazon you start seeing, like, a massive upsale in, like, baseball bats and things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me. Again, I don't know. How would I know? This is the thing, because like I said, I'm not in any weird groups that would ask things like that. So I'm not saying you're wrong to ask it. I'm just saying I have no way of knowing. And I don't think most people would know, would they? Because unless you're in a group, you don't openly talk about if you're planning on fighting the government, do you? Because then they'll come and get you. Who has a family in Israel? I don't. Who are you on about? Oscar, I don't have any family in Israel, I'm not Jewish. If that's what you're asking. Are you on about somebody else and your other comments just been hidden? Check his comment. What comment? I can't see, Rajiv. All I can see is what's on my screen. You can see what I can see. It's literally there on my screen. Again, oh, if you repost the previous comment then, please, because again, I'm in a game. I can't scroll up and look at anything. Again, people, like I said, people might organise and localise communities, but you don't know if it's going to happen until it happens, because people aren't going to openly talk about doing that, because then they probably get arrested even if they're not doing anything wrong. But yeah, the comment about whatever to do with Israel, somebody's going to have to copy and paste it back in the chat. Again, I'm in a game, I can't scroll up, you can see what I can see on my screen, so there's no way of me checking an old comment if it didn't show up for me. Oh, there's a tank. Sherman, that's probably a bit stronger armoured than the Crusader. Oh, it is a 75 Sherman though, so the gun isn't great. It's not, but if you openly talk about making some sort of neighbourhood watch group and that kind of thing, you're probably getting put on the list. That's just the way it is here. Again, there's stuff in the UK that isn't outright illegal. I just wouldn't advise people to talk about it. Yep, there is. And again, that guy is a fucking terrorist. He is literally a terrorist. That guy that was saying that is one that's previously been done on terrorism for trying to blow up churches and shit like that. And yet they're allowing him to run as a politician of some sort. You know, in my personal opinion, he shouldn't be in the fucking country full stop. Because he's clearly not somebody that, you know, shares the values of Britain, or is actually British, so he can fuck off, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not in charge. It doesn't surprise me if YouTube's hiding in comments if you say something negative about Israel, but again, that's not me in charge of that. Probably Palantir and everybody else. Yeah, exactly as legal nukes.com says, yeah. There's stuff in the UK you have to be abstract, yeah, like vague enough about. That, again, you don't want to necessarily openly speak about stuff, because again, like I was saying, even if some stuff isn't outright illegal to talk about, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get put on some sort of fucking list for talking about it, even if you know, using your rights to free speech and everything else. It doesn't mean that, yeah, you're not going to be monitored and then put on a list of some sort, and then, you know, get dragged across the coals because they'll find something minor you've done that's actually illegal and then throw the book at you. Because again, like I've said before, it's like the thing if you have certain illegal books in the UK, they're not outright illegal to own, but if you get done on some sort of offence, they will say, oh, you've got an anarchist cookbook, even if you can legally buy it and all that, therefore you're getting an extra 10 years in prison because clearly you were planning on making a bomb or some shit like that. Again, I don't know if you're saying, Ninja Man, that people should implicate themselves. I don't really know what you're getting at. But the point I'm saying is that people need to be sensible because the government isn't your friend. This is what I'm getting at. That, you know, I don't think again, I'm trying to think of a good way of explaining this, but the point I'm trying to get at, Ninja Man, is that there's stuff basically where if you want to talk about it, you need to be smart how you do it. You don't let the government get you for no reason. Because, again, they will. You know, it doesn't matter if you think, oh, I have the right to talk about it. It doesn't matter. If they throw you in prison and then you get killed in prison by a gang in prison, well, you know, fucking that's game over for you, isn't it? You have to be fucking sensible about this stuff. Because, again, there's lots of rights we have that have basically been eradicated. And if you still say the wrong thing, doesn't matter if you think you're in the right or morally you're right, you know, you're fucked. It's like the people going to prison for saying very, very minor things on Twitter. Technically, I think if they did it properly in court, lots of them would have been cleared. But that doesn't matter when the government, you know, that doesn't matter if the government takes the attitude that, you know, you're going to get it regardless. And again, if you get sent to prison and have your life ruined, that comment isn't showing up for me at all, Rajiv. It's hiding it in the live stream chat. Can you copy and paste the comment just in quotation marks for me, Rajiv? If you're on a PC or whatever and it lets you do that. I could, in theory, get my phone out in a minute. To give you the American equivalent, it'd be like in America, I'll have a look on my phone for you in a minute then, no worries. It's just that, yeah, I was hoping having a system like this it would work properly, but YouTube still hides comments. Right. Let me have a look at what you were saying so I can agree or disagree with you. No, that comment, let me just change my chat on here. Let me close the video and reopen it, but that message still is being hidden from me on my phone. even though I'm the channel admin. Oh, he said, you were trying to say that Starmer is anti-white because he allows the third world illegals to cross the channel. The thing about his Jewish wife is, lots of Jews have been killed in Britain and beaten up by the Muslims that are being let in, so I don't think, to be honest, like I said, I don't think Starmer is actually pro-Jewish, in all honesty. Because like we've probably said before, like Starmer has claimed to be Jewish, Christian, atheist, and I think other shit when it's politically convenient for him. Starmer is just a fucking weaselly snake that I don't think has any values other than his stupid, like, lawyery, international human rights bollocks and whatever else. Because also Starmer keeps doing stuff that is kind of anti-Israel, as in like, oh, I don't like what they're doing to Palestine and all this, so let's cut off certain types of aid to Israel. It doesn't prove that point, it proves the point that YouTube might be censoring them. It doesn't mean that Starmer's censoring them himself. But yeah, like I said, YouTube, there's certain things on YouTube now you literally can't talk about, as in, like, I know for a fact people on my streams, for example, they might be trying to talk about something, the comments just keep getting hidden and hidden and hidden, and sometimes, like I said, it's not even where a moderator can approve them. YouTube has just literally shadow banned your comment, you know, where you say certain words, and again, I don't know what these words are potentially, but you know, where somebody's like, I'm asking about this, and then the comment doesn't show up, and it's like there's blatantly certain words in there that are like kill words for YouTube's algorithm or whatever that you cannot say, even if I agree or disagree with them. Like, you know, they just hide you from chatting about it. And if you try to make a comment about that on a regular video, say, your comment might show up for you, but for everybody else, a good way you can test this, right? Make a comment on something that's a bit spicy, open up an incognito window and go back to that video, see if your comment shows up. Because I've done that and some of my comments just get hidden from a video full stop. Can't talk about white people. White people do not have rights. Right-wing fuggery. But yeah, so, but yeah, speaking about the stuff to do with Britain, it's a bit like in the US, say you have a lot of the Second Amendment rights, right? It's a bit like how the ATF might shoot your dog and shoot you, even if you're technically not doing anything wrong or it's only borderline wrong. That's the thing you kind of have to think about. It doesn't matter if you're in the right if you get killed by the government. Again, to be honest, like I've said a lot of times, I don't really give a shit about Israel. Because like I said, I'm not Jewish. I have nothing against them, but I'm also not like stupidly pro-Israel either. But I don't personally believe that all the Jews are out to get me either, you know. Like I said, there's certainly some very rich, dodgy Jewish people that, you know, say lots of very anti-white things. I would agree with you there. But I don't think every Jew is in some international conspiracy, you know, that's coming out to get me, if that makes sense. And again, it's like the whole Israeli thing. It's the thing with Israel in the UK is nearly all the lefties actually hate them anyway. They constantly go on about, like, you know, how Israel's an apartheid state and the poor Palestinians this and that. And it's like, wow, this is really relevant to British politics, isn't it? Talking about the Middle fucking East that has nothing to do with Britain. I mean, I know you could in theory, in some way say it does because Britain used to rule these countries. But what are they saying? We should go back over there and sort them out? Because I don't think they'd like that either. If we went, alright, Palestine belongs to us now, so we're going to get the redcoats on the street, and if you do the slightest thing wrong, we're going to shoot you. So, yeah, but I agree with you, YouTube censorship is ridiculous, and like I said, the thing that annoys me as well is half the time I can make videos and other channels can make videos and then they don't even, like, show up for other people because YouTube's decided that, oh, that wasn't a very good dive. You know, that sort of shit, so, here's all the AA fire coming from. There's a lot of ground fire coming up in my spit, but I don't actually know where it's coming from. Oh, I wasn't close enough to the refill it. Oh, I got fucking stuck as well as in a Spitfire. Damn it. Matilda, waltzing Matilda. Wouldn't surprise me if Netanyahu's doing that. Like I said. But the problem is, Oscar, for me, again, like I said, I don't have a problem with what you're bringing up. Again, you might just have to type it with funny things like that. It's just so many people, when I start, you start bringing this up, it literally does turn into weird Holocaust denial shit. And again, those sort of people poison the well, because you can't have an honest discussion about Israel or whatever. Or maybe Netanyahu has dirt on these politicians through people like Epstein, and then they're basically being told, unless you do what I say or whatever, we're going to reveal the children you raped. Wouldn't surprise me if it's shit like that, knowing the type of politicians we get over here. I could very much imagine, because we know Mandelson, for example, was giving financial information to Epstein. Why could he not be telling them, about what, people, the politicians are having sex with? Stuff like that. Could be blackmail, it isn't necessarily a bribe. Might be the carrot and the stick. Bribes or blackmail, could be, both, really. But I certainly think our current lot of politicians are corrupt and would take a bribe, if that's, kind of what you're asking me. I certainly think about stuff like that a lot, but, again, people that are morally compromised, they're not going to say no to a bribe, are they? Even if it's not in the country's interest. And again, for me, it's called treason, if a politician of your country acts against the interests of your own country because of something to do with a foreign leadership type thing. If it's to do with bribes or blackmail, if they're doing it against the interests of your country, fucking treason, you see a hanging offence. But, again, we don't treat treason like treason anymore. Like Mandelson, I bet, might just have to pay a fine or get like 1 year in prison for what he's done, even though back in the good old days, we'd have hung him from the neck until dead. Short drop and sudden stop. Oh no, the gun isn't very good on this Matilda, is it? I don't even know what gun the Matilda has. Is it even a 6-pounder, or is it something worse than a 6-pounder? Oh, there we go. No, I need to get round to playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 I don't own, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 I've got. I don't know if I've got all the DLCs for it, but yeah, I really need to install that and play it. Because I was really interested in it at the time. It was just, I think, one of those games at the time. I didn't buy when it first came out. I bought it in a sale, but then at the time I didn't, have enough hard drive space or SSD space. So Kingdom Come Deliverance was one of those games that, I've had for quite a while, but I didn't ever get round to playing. And because Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks really good, I really ought to play through the first one and get the second one when it's on sale or whatever. But it does look like the game I'd really enjoy. Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just one of those things that quite often with games, there's games that I get, really like the look of, and then because I didn't have the hard drive space at the time it was on the sale or whatever, I never got round to playing the games. And then a lot of the time, the games I keep playing are games that a lot of my friends have, that are like online things like Helldivers 2 or whatever. The king. But yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance I ought to play. Yeah, like I said to you, like I said, you can, like saying, I don't disagree with you. I don't like the idea of any foreign lobbying whatsoever in my country. Whether it be Israel, whether it be some sort of Muslim country. Oh, let's play as Italia. Oh, at least I get the 720. I fucking love this thing. But yeah, like I said, I just think foreign lobbying for your country is bad. Because, again, I have a lot of respect for countries that just stand up for their own national interests. You don't have to agree with that country, but in general, I'm just going to change the lighting over again. Just because that one's a bit glaring in the right side of my eye. Now let me lower the brightness of this one. Again, I don't know if that even looks good on my webcam view, but it's at least not unpleasant for my eyes. But yeah, I just think in general, you know, foreign countries shouldn't be lobbying your government. Yeah, again, like I said, I think lots of people are historically illiterate about what the Nazis actually were. Because like I've said before, and again this might sound really, really bad, I don't think the fascists in general were that bad, but Nazi Germany was bad because they were like ethnically genocidal and, you know, hated literally every disabled person, thought disabled people were subhumans they ought to murder. Like I said, the reason I hate the Nazis isn't because, oh no, funny moustache man, it's because of what they actually did. But the Nazis, for example, if they hadn't have just fucked around with Poland and that, they'd have never gone to war with Britain. But it was the point that Britain was like, we are guaranteeing the independence of Poland, and they're like, oh well, we are going to invade anyway. Oh my god, Britain, why are you at war with us? This is unfair. But yeah, I'd agree with you, most leftists couldn't even tell you any of Hitler's policies or what National Socialism was about. They probably wouldn't even know what it means if you said NSDAP to them, you know, National Socialist German Workers' Party. They wouldn't know. Oh, that brain carrier just flipped over. Is there anyone in there? No. Can I hit that universal carrier? No, it's not low. Then I want to take out that tank that's there. Oh, hull damage. Oh, he hit me. I just landed a shot. Oh, he moved. That's it. Oh, I got him. Yes. Oh, just about missed that universe carrier. Or is he going to try and push forward to that carrier? There we go. Tracks destroyed. Let's see if I can... Oh, the crew bailing out. Get the crew bailing out. Right. HE shells it is. And again, a lot of these people that have a hard-on for like the Soviet Union, for example, probably don't know about certain Soviet policies, because, you know, the Soviets weren't very nice to gay people. I doubt the Soviets would have liked trans people, you know, all this sort of stuff. It's, you know, it's amazing how, I think, stupid in a lot of ways modern lefties are. And again, I don't mean lefties like genuine socialists that want good rights for workers. I mean, you know, the fucking Karens and the SJW types. Because again, like I said, I don't really even see myself politically on the left and right thing. I just want what's best for my country and the people living in my country. You know, and the politicians that stand up for my country, good. Politicians that undermine my country are bad. You know, for me, like I said, it's not really a left-right thing. Yeah, so the Soviets did lots of horrible things to various countries they went into. Correct? The Holodomor, again, is probably something that... you know, lots of lefties don't know about nor care about. And again, like, you know, the destruction of lots of cultures that the USSR took over. Those sort of things. Oh, let's get a heat shell again for that. Sherman, it's not Sherman, it's just little Stuart. There we go, 300 kill, tracks destroyed. Let's see if I can finish him off. Try and repair him. There we go, hull destroyed. Or is that another tank over there, or is that one already knocked out? Yeah, the Nazis were into loads of weird occult shit as well, so like stuff like the old Wolfenstein games, not the more modern Wolfensteins, but the old Wolfensteins when they did all the occult shit, that was fucking real. They had like the Order of the Black Sun and all that stuff. The Nazis were fucking obsessed with weird magic. Like the whole Indiana Jones sort of plots aren't that strange. Like the Nazis literally were obsessed with weird fucking you know, like the idea of like binding souls onto rings and stuff like that. Well, especially the SS. Again, not regular Germans, but you know, like the high ups in the Nazi party like wanted to be immortal and all that. Again, like I said, I think I've given a pretty balanced view on ICE. There's some bits I don't like about ICE, but, you know, in Minnesota, should ICE be deporting people that are illegal immigrants? Absolutely. Because, again, like I said, in the UK we've got massive problems with illegal immigrants, and you know, we don't have an ICE. You know, our government basically says, oh, if you're against people being illegal, you're the one that's the problem. Even though these illegal immigrants in the UK, probably like America, cause lots of crimes. And we're basically told, shut up, bigot, and enjoy your cultural enrichment. Oh, mamma mia. So, you know, like I said with ICE, I think ICE has a PR problem, but that's more that, you know, again, but a lot of the media is going to be against them full stop. And again, I pretty much agree with the Asmongold point of view, that if the woman that got shot in the car, and that Alex Pretty guy or whatever, if they hadn't been riled up by certain bits in the media in the US, they would still be alive. But because they basically got told to go out there and fight Nazis or whatever, they didn't question it, they thought they were being good, virtuous people, and then they got fucking killed. Because they went and did stupid shit and won stupid prizes. You know, played stupid games, win stupid prizes. There's the universal carrier. Oh, I just missed him. Yeah, again, with the Bolsheviks, it depends, because again, Lenin is different than Stalin is different than Khrushchev, you know, again, all that stuff. Again, I quite like Khrushchev. I think Khrushchev was a very good leader for the Soviet Union. But, you know, I also don't like a lot of other things the USSR did. But again, the USSR, for example, is completely different than modern, like, SJW lefties. You know, they would be the first to be put against the fucking wall as work-shy, sort of, you know, pointless individuals. For example, if, you know, you had a modern kind of commie, like proper Communist Party. Mamma mia, I wish this Semoventi had this the machine gun mounted on it, because it's a nice little assault gun, but it has a no fucking machine gun on it. So the infantry is quite harder to kill. I'm not going to have enough shells to hold them off for long. They'll probably be blown up before not too long. Like, yeah, that Minnesota stuff is insane. If you mean like all the like Somalis in Minnesota with all the fraudulent daycare things and the Leering Center and all that. And I bet you stuff like that is going on in every fucking state. Because again, like I said, in the UK we have loads of problems like this. And even when it's the government not directly giving them money, it's, you know, like I said, lots of illegal immigrants committing crimes, obviously. Because if they're not officially in the country, you know, paying taxes and things, you know. Yeah, I know, it's like, yeah, exactly. And do you know why they're called tankies? It's because when the tanks went into Czechoslovakia and Hungary, they're the type of people that cheered it on. Despite, you know, it was socialists killing socialists or whatever. Again, I fucking hate tankies, but it doesn't mean I hate all socialists. It depends what kind of, like, socialists like Orwell I have a lot of respect for. Because I said, like, for me it's not really a left-right thing. It's about standing up for your country and just being a decent human fucking being, but, you know, for certain people they can't manage that, can they? Oh shit, there goes my wheels. That tracks. Right, he's a macacano. I got to give him the JFK treatment. Can't see shit. The Semonventes are actually decently good, because I did look up their real statistics earlier, because I liked them in this game and I like them in Steel Division 2. And the Semonventes are actually fucking good. They're like just Italian stugs, basically. Yeah, most of their tanks are fucking dog shit, but the Semonvente is good because it's got a good gun on it and it's got a little bit of armour. You know, you still don't want to get hit by a proper tank round, but against infantry they're alright, Semonvente, and again, as long as you get the shot off first, Semonventes are good, because they're basically like Italian stugs. Was this one still shooting even though, oh yeah. No point being in it because the tracks are oh. Oh, a Panzer. Yeah, let's use a Panzer. This is a bit better, isn't it? Panzer 4, Panzer 4. Right, it's the AP shell. I can't see shit at the moment. Oh, mein Gott, we got overrun. Again, my kill-death ratio was good, but on some of these battles, you're basically fucked if you're not playing as the winning side. So now we're going to be forced to replay that mission. I'm just going to play as Britain and just overrun them. Because on some maps, it's the problem that it doesn't matter if you play really well. You have the issue in this game that because, you know, one side is so stacked against the other, you know, like, you're basically just going to lose anyway. Because, again, if you actually had a team of human players versus the bots on some of the maps, you'd be alright. But like I said, the problem is that basically, you know, if you're playing a map where it's like the attackers have a massive advantage, it doesn't matter how many you kill as a defender. But I kind of like that about this. I both like that and don't like that about this game, because it's meant to be, you know, kind of a more accurate World War II thing. Some of the battles you are just fucked if you're playing as the wrong side. You know, there are some battles you can win as the side that didn't actually win them, if they were pretty close things. But some of the battles, yeah, you're just fucked if you're playing on the wrong side, because you don't have enough tanks, don't have enough men. Yeah, well, again, there was a video Asmongold did, because again, like I said, I watch a lot of his stuff because I quite agree with a lot of his points, and I just think he's an interesting streamer. And it was on about, like, US Skid Row, and about how, like, a lot of the charities there don't actually fucking help the homeless people there. Like, they do the stuff to keep, you know, money going into, like, Narcan and stuff like that. Because, again, if you actually solved the drug addiction problem of those poor people, you wouldn't have a market anymore for Narcan. So, you know, they're like selling both the cure and the poison at the same time to keep their business model going. You know, so they're outright nasty companies, in my opinion, you know. And there's a lot of things like that, you know, where, again, I would rather help the homeless people in our country first with addiction problems and whatever else, than letting foreigners come in and then giving them all these sort of services. You know, help the people that are actually here first. Again, it's like with foreign aid. I wouldn't be against Britain giving foreign countries foreign aid if we could pay for everything in our own country at once. But again, we've got the problem in the UK where we give however much money of foreign aid away per year, and then there's things we're told, oh, we can't afford to fix this in Britain because it costs this much money, but we're already giving more money away in foreign aid. So in reality, what we could be doing is fixing all the problems we've actually got in the UK first, and then if we had any leftover money, doing sensible things with foreign aid. Instead, what they're doing is basically going, let's, you know, do whatever first, you know, let's do all these things that aren't in our interest, and then, you know, sorry, we can't fix the problems at home. Like, no, charity starts at home. You need to actually help the, you know, make the pasta out of the Italians. But yeah, I think that, you know, people even at the very bottom of the thing should have very basic needs provided for by the government. I would rather pay a bit of tax and know that if I fell on really hard times, the government would help me out. I'm not against social and stuff like that at all. Because like I said, for me, a lot of stuff isn't left or right wing, it's about what makes sense. And I think in general you would have a country that works a hell of a lot better if, you know, people actually have something to aspire to and are kind of looked after. If you have a country where if you get in, you know, if you have a load of bad things happen to you in your life and then you're getting stomped on for the rest of your, you know, life, and there's no way out from the gutter if you fall into the gutter, that's a bit of a shit country, isn't it? But again, like, the lefties in our country, like Labour, they're not, like I said, they're not real socialists. And I know I might sound like a commie saying that, but it's true. I don't think they do enough actual socialist things to help the people in this country, you know. Because Labour are obsessed with, oh, this is the right thing to do with international human rights, bollocks and whatever else. Fuck that. Help the people in this country first. Don't make me pay taxes to help people in some other country. I want my taxes to help people that are, you know, fucked over in this country. Including people like me if I fell on really hard times. But no, that's not what their model of socialism is. Oh, India and Gurkha forces. I wonder if they'll actually be modelled or if they'll just look... Oh, they've got their own flag. This might be interesting. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you completely, Oscar, with that. Like I said, I completely agree with you that. They claim to be socialists, and they use... Ah, cool, they've actually modelled them to look like Indians and whatever. Because, again, this game does have a lot of effort put into that kind of stuff. But yeah, I completely agree with you that modern Labour is not leftist, but they'll use the thing saying, oh, you're just against socialist ideas and all that, if you oppose what they're doing. Because they'll get their mouthpieces like James O'Brien to go, oh, you just hate socialism, all this, all that. And it's like, no, it's because you're not real socialists. You're a fucking, you know, traitor to socialism. And again, like I said, I don't know if I even consider myself socialist. But like I said, I fucking hate, you know, political parties and that outright lie about what their goals are and then try and gaslight you into thinking they're doing, you know, the other thing. Oh, out with my 303. Come on, Krishna Venkatesh, whatever your name is. Let's load the rifle and fuck them bloody. Oh, 303 Enfield is amazing. Field gun use them though. Yeah, they're like neoliberals or whatever you'd call them. You know, the whole thing where they're just like big corporate, big tech, aren't they? Exactly. Like for me, Labour Party and the Tories are the exact same thing, and the Lib Dems. For me, they're all just different shades of shit, to be quite honest. Like I said, the actual leftists that are generally socialists, I have more in common with, and almost what you might call the far right, I have more in common with. Because they're actually at least not that same, you know, globalist, corporatist kind of bollocks. But, you know, like I said, generally, I think I probably am more socialist now as I've gotten older. But that doesn't mean I agree with all the socialisty ideas. Again, Labour is very pro, like, big tech censorship and all that. Because they keep doing a, oh, think of the children type thing. I'll need to do a video on this, because I see this is happening to Americans now as well. The whole, think of the children, we're protecting the children. This is why we need to have all your data and shit like this, even though, what you call it, you know, like, again, most of our political class I would not trust with children at all. Because they want to nonce the children, that's what they want to do. But, you know, in my opinion, I just keep saying that because otherwise, oh, you smeared us, we're going to send you to a Starmer re-education camp. Oh, there's a lot of Germans in there. Oh, never mind. Subhash Patak is tote. Do not redeem me, sir. Oh, the tank isn't totally fucked. Okay. Where's some Germans we need to kill? Oh, right behind me. Okay. Quick, turn round. Turn round, lax man. Come back here and fight me like a man. Germans on that hill. But yeah, I personally agree that like we're just in a very bad position. Ooh, I don't want to run over my own men. Oops. Oh shit, there's an 88 turning towards me. Can we capture that 88? Oh, hang on. Oh, never mind, I'm fucking dead. But, white guilt thing with which people, sorry? What, the political parties or what? Sorry, I'm not following. You have to remind me of what you're on about before, sorry. Because I take the attitude that, you know, like, again, the British Empire did some bad things, but, you know, the thing is, it wasn't my generation that did it, so I'm not going to apologise for it. I don't think personally I've got any wealth that was looted from that time period. We're worse off, I think, in Britain now than lots of, you know, poorer countries that we occupied. So, you know. And you notice how it's never countries that beat Britain that complain about Britain. So America doesn't complain about Britain because America beat us. They said, fuck you, Limey, we want our independence. So yeah, the countries that bitch about Britain non-stop are the ones that basically happily were, you know, colonial servants or slaves, however you want to put it, for years, and then, you know, just now conveniently say, give us the reparations. And like I said, I don't think there's any merit to that whatsoever. I think, you know, I think, yeah, again, Britain did do some horrible things to some countries, but not my problem. It wasn't me that did it. And again, if we're going to play the game with people of your country did something bad in the past, you're never going to get anywhere, because I bet you nearly every country in the world has done one bad thing to another country at some point. So, you know. I'm on an 88. I'm on an 88. Boom. I love mine flak 88. What is it? Yeah, and again, it's, you notice when they always want to push stuff on people, they never want it in their area, do they? Oh, I can personally take in a refugee or whatever. You know, I've only got one bedroom in my house, but let's just shove all these immigrants on the poorest communities and whatever, yeah. Again, like I said, the woke people love to virtue signal and sound great, but they never want to pay the bill themselves, do they? It's always somebody else that have to... Yeah, Barbary slave trade, exactly. Again, bet you that's something that's never mentioned, is it? The Barbary pirates and, you know, lots of, you know, like, slaves that were taken, like, because again, white people were taking slaves throughout history. And like I said, the one I like bringing up that upsets all the leftists is when they talk about Britain and slavery. Britain was one of the countries that first outlawed slavery and stopped other people doing it. So you don't get to say that to us, you know, over here. That's one of those kind of virtue signalling things I really don't like. You're right, Kevin, anyway. That's the first comment I've seen from you today.
Enemy down!
Oh look, the strikers aren't struck in there. That's a good texture, attention to detail. The primers aren't struck, even not the strikers aren't struck. Yeah, that's why it's got the thing in the song, isn't it? From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Because again, Tripoli, what's it, Libya, was where a lot of them operated out of. Yeah, and they like doing it, don't they, on the way of having people come over on passports and then taking their passports away. Indentured servitude, or however you want to call it. Yeah. But again, if it's not white people doing it, it's fine for a lot of these lefties. Because they only care when it's their kind of virtue signalling argument they like. Because I think they're awful human beings, personally. It's like when black people are being killed in certain countries, they don't give a shit about if it's not the right country. Again, it's like lots of these guys were going, oh yeah, poor Palestinians, all this. And as soon as the Iranian protesters were getting gunned down by the Iranian state, crickets, because, oh no, Iran isn't evil West. We don't give a shit about Iranians, you know. Again, like I said, I think a lot of these lefties are just horrible. Again, I know I keep calling them lefties, but you know what I mean. SJWs, whatever you want to call them. You know, I think they're just shitty human beings, in all honesty, with a really broken moral compass, you know. It's not, if you want to call, again, moral compass is in, like, you know, a real compass where it has to point north. It's a broken compass, you know, where it doesn't really point north, it's just stuck in one direction. And again, it's like, oh, and again, like, oh, there's a war going on in Sudan or whatever, where black people are being ethnically cleansed. Oh, we don't care about that, because it's not white people doing it to them, or another group we don't like. Like I said, it is just one of those, like I said, really shitty things with a lot of these people, that they are so selective about their outrage. Because for me, if they were like kids being murdered, I'd think that would be bad no matter who was doing it, you know. I wouldn't care what colour of the kids, yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I love Enfields. I've got, like I said, I've got the Diak one, a #1 Mark III, the same one as he was using. But like saying, my granddad had a #1 Mark III and a #4 Mark I later on in the war. Hang on, I'll look at your comment properly in a minute. I'm just getting shot at by like a Jermaine memes at the moment. I'm using AT shells and I wonder if it's shit. Yep, took. But yeah, like I said, it's again, they don't like Israel, so if Iran is opposed to Israel, therefore Iran is good. Like I'm saying, this is how simple their thinking is. It's not like you can have two things that are bad, you know. It's because in real life, you know, real life is lots of shades of grey. Generally, in most wars, you don't have a blatantly bad country and a blatantly good country. In most wars, you know, generally, like, both sides can do war crimes and things like that, just because you know, generally there's one side worse than another in most wars. So it's like with, you know, obviously like the Ukraine war, I have a lot more sympathy for Ukraine because they've been invaded by Russia. But that doesn't mean I don't think some of Russia's points about NATO expansion on their borders are necessarily completely wrong. But I think Russia destroyed all its legitimacy with that argument by then, you know, starting a war of aggression against one of its neighbours. Because then again, everyone wants to be in fucking NATO now, don't they? Because they're like, well, if I'm not a part of that defensive club, then I'm open season. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, ATT. Like I said, that in general, I am just more on the side of smaller people in most countries, you know. Again, I think it's awful about, you know, children being blown up in Palestine, but I also think it was awful what happened on October the 7th. But like I said, I don't really, for example, with Israel and Palestine, want to get too involved in it, because like I said, it's not my country. I'd rather talk to you, you know, about, for the most part, about stuff that obviously goes on with Britain, because at least then I feel like I have more of a stake in saying about it, you know. But like, again, I think you get a lot of people that do the Dunning-Kruger thing. If they read a little bit about a conflict or whatever, then decide they're suddenly experts on it, you know. And oh, I've read a bit about this online, so I know who the good guy is, who the bad guy is. You know, and in reality, stuff is very complex. And again, it's like going back to that argument: who has the right to something? Well, my country did this so many years ago. Your country did this so many years ago. You know, where people start arguing about land rights over the years and stuff like that, and then it's, yeah, but that's a really big can of worms to open, because then if you go far enough back, somebody else will have a claim to the land. And, you know, that's the thing with, like, all countries, where I was getting in a bit of argument with the Chagos Islands over that, with somebody where he was trying to say Mauritius had the claim to it, and I was going about the native Chagosians. And he goes, oh, but they're not natives, they were brought over in the 1800s by France. Okay then, but they've at least been there 200 fucking years, haven't they? It gives you more of a right, and they're more of a right to it than you if you're from Mauritius or whatever. But, oh no, it's close to Mauritius, therefore we own it. Yeah, because again, they don't want to talk about a lot of the stuff going on in the UK, do they? Because it's not in their financial interest, let's say that. Because a lot of the, yeah, because again, a lot of the, like we were saying, a lot of the stuff in the UK, if they're the big, like, you know, corporate sort of owned one, again, because lots of these are big corporate owned companies, aren't they? Which probably have the same backers as some of the governments. So while they might be, you know, pro-Conservative or pro-Labour, that's kind of like theatre in some ways. They want the same big companies to do well, and the same international interest groups, say BlackRock or whatever else, to do well. They don't care about, you know, individual people really, and they wouldn't want to make, you know, lots of fuss about things going on inside the UK if it's not good for either left or right, you know, or the fake left-right divide, you know. I do like in this that the scopes actually work like real scopes, where, you know, they legit, say, zoom in like that. It's like a picture-in-picture scope, as opposed to most games where your screen just massively zooms in, even a lot of fucking AAA games, that's bollocks that's still in the game. So in here, yeah, my scope is zoomed in, but the actual, you know, entire environment isn't. Let me have a look at what's in the news today, by the way, other than the Labour having to reverse the thing on cancelling the elections. Oh, well, some council leader has apparently said Steve Reed is a bastard and a bully. Yeah, I didn't shoot any friendlies then. They're Germans over there. They're not very friendly. So yeah, Steve Reed is probably going to be the latest person Starmer throws under the bus, even if all this stuff was his decision. So I think Steve Reed was the one that was like, oh no, it was a great policy to cancel these local elections. So he'll be thrown under the bus because Starmer told him to say that. And Starmer will go, oh no, I had no idea this was so bad, blah blah blah, I thought we were doing the right thing. Steve Reed misled me. Because Starmer will never take responsibility himself, being the spineless little cunt he is, in my opinion. No, I don't think Starmer said anything about Rupert, but when he does, it won't be anything good. It will be, he's probably a racist or a sexist or whatever. That'll be what Starmer says. Because, again, you know, like I said, it's the whole thing they do with Reform, where they just claim, like, Reform is a party that isn't a threat to them, even though they're scared shitless of Reform. It's the thing they keep doing, that, you know, they pretend that they either won't bring them up, or they'll talk about how inept they are and, like, everything else. Because they don't want to admit that, you know, maybe people are voting for them for a reason. Is that a shot coming at me from behind? What? Oh, there's a random German all the way over there, look. Where's that Italian? I don't have a sidearm, so I can't. There we go. Right, again, we don't have an anti-tank thing to take that out, unfortunately. The game classified official is Easy Red 2, so it's basically kind of like a Battlefield style game in World War II, but it's designed to be historically accurate. Yep, always slander and the other one like slander, libel with those lot. So this was originally made by just one person apparently, and now they've actually got a few people on the dev team because it's done quite well as an indie game. But yeah. You can play it online with like hundreds of people on servers, but I'm just playing it against the computer at the moment, just for the stream. What's the Crink Alliance? I'm assuming one of those is Iran. Is that China, Russia, Iran, North Korea? Am I right, or have I missed something? Is it NK different? So is Crink a bit like BRICS, but just a different term for it? I think I played a little bit of Howl Let Loose, but it's not really my kind of game. Again, I don't really like PvP games. If this was PvP only, I wouldn't have got it. But because you can do all against the AI in this, and it's got good mod support. Because again, I just don't really have the patience for online games now, because I'm not very good at them, is my honest answer. I just like games where I can chill and chat with people like this, you know, or listen to a podcast while I'm playing it, or something like that, you know. In a game like, if this was PvP, I wouldn't be able to just read the chat out as I'm playing with you. Alright, cool, so yeah, I did get it right. Yeah, I'm personally of a bit like Oscar's opinion on that. I personally think China just wants to make money, and China mostly cares about its own sphere of influence. I don't think China... Oh, there's quite a few of them over that hill. I don't think China... Oh, it's hold fast, just online only. But, has this guy got a brain gun? Oh, he's dead now anyway, never mind. But yeah, China seems sensible in the fact that most of what China wants seems to be in China's interest. Like, again, I think China just wants to make money, for the most part. Again, like, it's like with Russia, they haven't done loads to help Russia, have they, when, Russia went into Ukraine. I think they'll happily sell stuff to Russia as long as it doesn't upset other business contracts. But then, oh, so it's a Napoleonic War type thing. Okay. But yeah, oh shit, again, there's a lot of them behind that hill. But yeah, it's... Because again, to me, China seems to be like one of the most sensible global powers at the moment, and China just seems to do what's in China's interests, which completely makes sense to me, you know, for a country to do that sort of thing. Yeah, sounds interesting, but yeah, if it's PvP, I wouldn't be that into it. Just because, like I said, I don't have the patience for those games anymore. Oh, again, some of the bots in this aren't awful. Yeah, and again, I think apparently China has a thing as well in China where, you know, like, you can only have a certain amount of stuff sold for stuff like AI in China to stop their own domestic market getting fucked up. There's a few games like that, like War of Rights you get in the line. There was another, like, sort of, US War of Independence era one where you had to get in big line battles, but I can't remember what one it was. Yeah, exactly. I can admire China for that, because like I said, I keep saying this, but the thing is, like, if a country isn't working in the interests of my country, but they're working in their own self-interest, I don't have a problem with them, because they're acting the way you'd expect them to act. My problem comes when you get countries that, you know, don't act in their own national interest. And again, like, so this is the thing with China. What's that? Black Ops 3 Zombies. I don't have Black Ops 3. And I don't know if I want to buy Activision games, in all honesty. Yeah, everybody tells me Japan's doing good stuff, but I don't know much about the current Japanese leader, although everyone says she's like a fit MILF or whatever that's fixing Japan. But yeah, like I said, so even if China... Like I said, I don't really consider China to be a friend or the enemy of like a country like Britain. I think China's just going to do what's in its own interest. And as long as we don't sign any deals with China that are going to fuck us over, I don't see what the problem is. You know, just know China is like for what China is. You know, otherwise I don't have a problem with China in all honesty. You know, to me, they're just a very big industrial nationalist power that is going to do what's in China's interests. And mushy peas I like. Don't know if I've had toad in the hole in years, but mushy peas, I always have mushy peas and fish and chips. Again, I don't know why people don't like mushy peas. If you like peas, you like mushy peas. I just prefer mushy peas because it's... Oh, we finally won. I thought we were going to lose that one. And, again, I don't know much about Ohio, but I bet you've got politicians in Ohio that aren't looking out in Ohio's interests. Oh, that's the pistol I've got. I can't obviously show that on stream. My Bodio has the trigger guard on it, though. That was in Mafia the Old Country, that revolver, which was quite cool, because, like I said, I've got a Diaquin of those, because it's the gun Rupert Everett has in Cemetery Man. Oh, well, let's play... We can play as the... Is that Australia or the Kiwis? It's Kiwis are the red stars, isn't it? Australia has the white stars. Let's play as the Wops again, because I might get the cool Simon Venti thing. Panzer 2. Is that the autocannon Panzer, the Panzer 2? Yeah, again, like I said, you have to kind of think that China is going to do what's in China's interest, but if you actually punish China for doing bad things, if they do bad things to your country, they'll probably stop doing it. But you just have to be consistent with them, probably. Yeah, and again, Russia does that. But again, it's like, I think we're kind of losing in the West if we don't do similar things, going, oh, that's too morally good for us to do a winning strategy. Do you sort of see what I'm getting at with this sort of shit? Yeah, it is the auto-cannon when the Panzer. I'm going to get fucked by that tank, aren't I? Because I've just got a shitty little flak auto-cannon. Yeah, I don't know in all honesty, because Rupert Lowe isn't Reform. He's, what was the name of his party? I've already forgotten. Reform is Farage's party he used to be in. Restore, isn't it? Restore Britain is his one. I don't know. Because Rupert Lowe himself has guns, I imagine he's pro-gun. But I don't know. One of the policies he said about that I really like the idea of, is that if you're British and you marry somebody in another country, they should be allowed to easily get citizenship. Because that's one of the things I just do not get in this country, why we keep letting foreigners in that abuse the shit out of this country, but we go, oh, if you're a British man and you married, say, an Indian woman or a Chinese woman or whatever, we're going to make them getting citizenship as hard as possible. Like, why? That makes no sense, but... But like I said, I'm following Rupert Lowe with quite a lot of interest, because, like I said, I like a lot of what he says. I don't agree with all his policies on everything. Oh mein Gott, they are overrunning my flak gun. Oh, Otto has a Schmeisser. MP38. I'll read the comments again in a minute. Sorry, I'm just trying to stop the Kiwis running over us. Yeah, this is Greek. It's not a field shirt though, it's an M65 jacket. It's not got the liner in it, so yeah, I get asked about this one a lot. It's Greek Lizard M65 field jacket. I bought it second hand and it didn't have the liner in, and it was quite, you know, like a lot of the sleeve type bits are kind of going on it, so it was quite cheap. But, you know, once I put it through the washing machine and the tumble dryer once to get all the lint off, it's quite a nice jacket. It's just, you know, like I said, I think a few of the buttons have gone inside that you put the liner on as well. But because this is a Greek one and Greece is mostly a hot country, I kind of think have this M65 as one for without. The thing about the citizenship thing though is that again we seem to still allow people that have I wouldn't consider British myself to do like this foreign bride sham stuff over and over, but we fuck over actual British people that fall in love with a foreigner. So this is what I'm saying, it's not fair how it works at the moment. But again, loads of people that, again, like I said, have married somebody that's from a poorer country, but they're actually like a very skilled person, have then had problem getting their, this has the Schmidt-Rubin style cocking handle at the back. Like the cocking ring thing. I really like this kind of hammer, because you twist it one way for safe and twist it the other way for fire. It's very easy to recock without pulling the bolt back, because you just put your finger in it and pull it back. Right, where's their tank? Oh, there we go. It's literally right where I was aiming. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to be Taiwanese in that, but I don't think China is going to start just randomly invading countries, you know, near it, if that makes sense. Other than, you know, the ones they historically claim they have claim to. Ah, cool. Yeah, like I said, this one is just the standard army type one as far as I'm aware. But, the Greek Lizard, sort of M65. What's the ground we're meant to be holding at the moment? Ah, yeah, all the way over there. Like where the flat guns were. I wouldn't mind getting some like blue camo or like some of the stupid colour camos. Like some of the countries that have like bright orange camo things and that. I think they just look cool. Oh, there's another vehicle. My rifle, it does nothing. Oh, that shot did something. It came up with a damage indicator. No, I've not got any Tiger Strike. Not any, like, original reproduction stuff. Well, like I said, I never even played Battlefield 6 because they did that stupid secure boot bullshit. And then that bricked my PC and I had to take out all the CMOS and all that to restore it. And all that bollocks because of them there, because again my motherboard I think is too old to actually do secure boot, but or it's got the wrong drive formatting or some shit like that. But my point being anyway that yeah, luckily the AI is fairly good at not running you over in this. So yeah, like I said, secure boot not happening. And again, can you even have secure boot on something like Linux? Because again, with Steam Machine, hopefully if that does well, you know, more people are going to have Linux. And then they can't do that secure boot bollocks and stuff like that. I know, again, secure boot is actually at the BIOS level, not like OS level. But again, is there any reason you'd want secure boot with Linux? I don't know. I generally don't know, because like the first time I heard of secure boot was, you know, when it's been pushed on people recently. And again, I know if you buy like a more modern pre-built, it'll probably have it turned on by default. EA's bought by the Saudis, is it? Okay. Yeah, no, I don't even fucking know. Like I said, I mostly like indie games now anyway. if it comes out, I hope it's good, because, again, like I said, the thing I'm worried about more is that because Valve doesn't have a lot of the old people other than Gabe working for them still, because of how long ago Half-Life 2 was, you know, it's one of those things where, it might just be, you know, even if it comes out, it might be nothing like you expect it to be, you know what I mean? Again, if they're big businesses, why would they care about selling out to people like that? They're just in it for the money. They don't give a shit about human rights. They'll virtue signal, you know, when it's time for the Pride Week or whatever, those sort of companies. They love virtue signaling, but they really don't give a shit about gay or trans people, no matter how much they push it in their fucking games now. This is the thing I hate with these sort of companies. They grandstand on all this SJW stuff. Copium's a great word, yeah, like opium, but copium. Yeah, again, it's... I fucking love the word copium, but I don't know who invented it. Huffing that copium. Inject the copium straight into your veins. Sounds like they're pretty ungrateful, Brown Street, because again, like I said, my next OS I want to be Linux, because like I said, currently, like I said, regarding opioids, I'm on them prescription-wise for my colitis. Oh, it's the shitty breeder MG. And like I said, not very strong ones, but I've got a bit of a tolerance. But opium, again, I think it's a drug that's less dangerous than alcohol. But again, like everything, if you get hooked on it enough, like a heroin or fent addict, you're fucked, aren't you, basically? But for me, I'm not going to lie, when I have opioids that I'm given on prescription for painkilling stuff, they make you feel fucking good. You know, they're great. They give you a massive... Again, it's opioid rush, isn't it? That's like what natural endorphins do. But yeah, like I said, opium is nice stuff, but that's the problem. It's so nice that good luck not wanting it when you're on it. But like I said, I've had a similar dose for about 5 or 6 years, well, actually longer than that now, I think, with opioids. That what I'm, you know, on. And again, I'm just on stuff like codeine when I'm on opioids. I'm not even on horrible stuff. Codeine is pretty damn weak when it comes to opioids, like codeine and tramadol type things. You know, like, again, I was given Fent when I had surgery recently, and, like I said, I didn't even realise I'd been given Fent until I looked at my, like, discharge thing that told me all the drugs I'd been given. And I was like, oh, fentanyl, that's cool. Didn't turn me into a fent zombie, just made me feel in a good mood when I was starting to come around from it. But, again, that's because it's a medically controlled dose and all that, not just randomly shooting it up. Is that a dead Tommy? Yeah, it is, I think. Yeah, nearly everybody I talk to now that's into PC stuff likes Linux, and is more and more fed up with Windows, and I don't blame them. Again, I don't know what Oscar said, Rajiv, because, like I said, I can't see the comments that are hidden on here. Right, yeah, they can't spy on you now, though, can they, Ghost Jesus? What, you're saying you had opium when you broke 4 fingers? Sorry, I don't know, it might have hidden on your comment. Yeah, it's latest NPC update classified official where yeah, they'll just remember what's convenient or whatever. Like I said, personally, I do it based on like, you know, with gay and trans people and whatever. It's, are they a decent person? Then I have no problem with them. If they're a horrible fucking person, then I don't care if they're gay or trans or some other label. They're a shit person because they're a shit person. It, you know, for me, it's that kind of logic I use when I do value judgments based on people. But, you know, I don't think gay people should be discriminated against or whatever because they're gay. Oh, you got, what, a Fent lollipop? Yeah, you can get those on prescription in the UK, but I've never had them. But I know that the Fent lollipops are supposedly a good way of not overdosing. Because, I think I've heard of Haiku OS, but yeah, I don't know anything about it. But yeah, I think more and more people are switching to Linux now, just because it's getting better and better at just being an easy-to-use OS without, you know, having to kind of be a nerd with it. And again, the more it gets compatible with Windows shit, the more, I think people are just going to use it anyway. Because again, from what I understand with the Steam Deck, most games that run a PC, you can run on a Steam Deck just by changing the right option around. No, I don't have any Spetsnaz gear. I've got a couple of camos that Spetsnaz would have used. Like the one, like SS Lito, whatever it is, like those sort of summer suit type things. But otherwise, no. Again, most of the Soviet stuff I have is just generic Russian infantryman kind of Soviet stuff. Like the gas masks and the helmets and whatever else. The problem with a lot of Spetsnaz stuff has been in the UK, that a lot of it has been the replica stuff being sold as if it's the real stuff at really high prices, which is one of the reasons I never risked buying any of it, because I know a lot of people are getting scammed with, you know, like airsoft replicas being sold as the real thing. Yeah, I know the ones you mean, Kevin, because that's like I said, I looked at some of those, and again, that was one of the problem with those, that lots of like shitty quality, like thin steel ones were being sold as titanium ones, so I never risked buying them. Interestingly, that wasn't originally the Soviets that came up with that. That's a Swiss helmet, originally. This Beretta pistol looks way too advanced for a World War II pistol, but again, it's probably because it's a Beretta, Beretta making fucking nice guns. Yeah, look at that. It looks like some sort of more modern SIG or something. But yeah, what was I going to say regarding, but yeah, apparently they were originally a Swiss helmet, and then the Soviets, I think, legally bought some, cloned them, and then they did a couple of variants of them. Does that guy have, oh, an M1917 bayonet. Oh, I like the 1907 bayonet, personally. Smith & Wesson revolver, let's take that, and some cartridges for it. Do I have any grenades? I don't think so. Oh, that was a smoke grenade. Oops, I wanted a proper grenade. Oh dear. I'm just gonna go prone by shit, quick reload. Oh no, I'm fucked. Yeah, I've said about that with Finish MO5. It's a really good looking camo, isn't it, Finish MO5? But again, I've never seen any replica stuff at a good price. I've only seen the originals at really, really expensive prices, even if they're a bit faded than that. But yeah, Finish MO5s are a very nice camo. Mamma mia, I'm in a shitty Italian tank and I still a BTU. So Sherman are a bit more worried about that. 8mm MG, wow, it's shit. Oh, there's another, what do you call it? Crusader there. It's a Crusader, isn't it? Oh, the Brits have got on the 88, can't let them have that. Or the Kiwis, or whatever it is. Wait, there's that might be an Italian on that though. Oh yeah, sorry, I almost blew up my own guy. That's an Italian with a funny hat on. I thought it was a Brody helmet at a distance. Oop, hello. Aim a bit lower. Again, some of these Italian tanks have quite good guns on them, even if they have absolutely shit armour. Only 15 attackers left and we win. After this game, I'll probably do... Yeah. Again, there's lots of Flecktarn ones, but yeah, like I said, it's kind of similar to Flecktarn, isn't it? But it's, yeah, it's a slightly different thing. After this match, I'll do one more game before I go off, because I assume I've been streaming quite a while now, but again, it's been a good chat. And it's quite easy to do now, I've got this chat in the window there, so I can read your comments at a decent font size without leaving the game, and all that sort of stuff. Alright, let's play as the Americans for my last game, seeing as I'm mostly talking with Americans on here. But yeah, like, people keep saying to me about Tiger Stripe, but yeah, Tiger Stripe sadly is one of those ones that, yeah, in the UK you can only really get as reproduction stuff, and I've never bothered. Again, I quite like Tiger Stripe, but I'd also like Tiger Stripe if there's a few other, like, colour variants of it. Yeah. There's that, and obviously old, whatever they called P-Dot or whatever it was, the really old version of German Flecktarn, the World War II Flecktarn, was P-Dot, wasn't it? I've got a P-Dot cover, like, reproduction one for my reproduction Stowhound. Oh, speaking of Lee, Robert Duvall died yesterday, didn't he? He was Lee's, like, great-great-grandson, I think it was. But, he did play Lee in Gods and Generals, and was obviously, what's his name in, is it Kilgore or something like that in, Apocalypse Now? I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. Yeah, cool. Again, Ghost User, sadly, like, obviously, yeah, all the revolvers like that over here are just as legal as all the other pistols. I mean, you can get black powder revolvers here, and I've got some, what do you call them, revolvers? Pinfire revolvers, but, again, like I said, can't really shoot them. Pinfires are also fucking tiny as well. The tank was a bit wonky. Right, so reproduction ones, no. I'll have a look at 1911 again when I get back out. But reproduction ones, no, even if they're technically legal. I think there is some bollocks about, you know, like, they have to be an original one, not a reproduction. Doesn't look too bad to me, but it might be the FOV and, like, the heat haze on the screen. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad to me. That 1911. But, yeah, so you can buy them, but they're just shitloads of money, Ghost Jesus, for the originals. Cap and ball revolvers are still quite common. But again, they cost a lot of money for what they are. But one of the channels I'm subscribed to bought an American Civil War era cap and ball revolver that, you know, is completely fireable and was still in really nice condition. He didn't say how much he paid for it, probably quite a lot, but But yeah, in theory, I think most of, like, say, the Colt single action armies and all those sort of similar era cowboy revolvers, if you want to call them that, you can get as obsolete calibers in the UK. It's just that you're going to have to probably be prepared to pay quite a bit for them. And that's kind of the logic they have of why they can't, because they cost a lot, why they're not really used in violent crimes, because most criminals would rather spend less for a modern firearm that's been smuggled into the country or built in the shed or whatever, than, you know, a classic gun like that. Like I said, the only pistols I've got that are live ones are 2 pinfire revolvers, and I've got a couple of like old, what you call them, like kind of like Derringers, not Derringers, but that Derringer type gun, you know, like the single muzzle loading kind of pistols. Okay, I have to look at the Ivor Johnson. Let me look that up in a moment when I'm not gonna be overrun. Waspreek randomly says Kosovo is Serbia. I don't really know to agree or disagree with that, because again, it's probably Kosovo is probably one of those things where loads of countries have claimed it at various points in history, and I don't want to start a shit flinging contest over something I don't know much about, because like I said, I'm not one of those people that will read a keynotes thing on a bit of history and then go, oh, I know everything about the subject. Yeah, again, maybe if Rupert Lowe comes into power, maybe we'll be allowed more guns. But yeah, again, like I've previously said, if they wanted to allow firearms in this country, just make them clunky old revolvers that are really slow to reload. That way it wouldn't be very practical for a mass shooting, but it would still be good for self-defense. Maybe just make them pepperbox revolvers. You know, like the old pepperbox ones that are kind of like a revolver, but they're like individually loaded percussion cap, and I suppose you'd have flintlock ones as well, but right, let me look up the pistol you're on about. Ivor Johnson. So they are top break, small calibers, personal defense handguns. Okay, yeah, again, they sadly, even if you could get the ones at the right date, they'd have to be in a cartridge that's considered an obsolete caliber over here. Because I think, like, the really common cartridges, even if they're really technically obsolete, aren't classed as obsolete over here, just because of the sheer, you know, ease of getting the old ammo, if that makes sense. Somebody is speaking in a language I can't understand. They said live twice, or live twice, but I can't understand what you said, buddy, because I don't speak your language. It has the statue of Bill Clinton. Do they have a statue of Epstein to go along with it? They should do. Get some. I'm going to translate what the person said, because why not? That said something about Boas Maya's lives, something or other. Si, signore. Where's the... Oh, it's not the right app, is it? I need to use the other YouTube app to look at comments. Right, I am going to translate his thing. What? You translated it? What does it say? Or is it something you're not allowed to say? I can't actually fucking copy and paste it on here as well. Good, more lives, man. I can tell you why today everyone is doing so many lives. There are so many people doing lives today. That doesn't even make any sense. I'm live because it's something to do. Oh, that was an alarm for me to start streaming at 5 PM. I came on early. It just started on my phone. But yeah, why are we all live streaming? Because everybody, you know, lots of people do live streams because it's a way of chatting with people. That's why I do live streams. Again, it seems a bit of a weird thing. Maybe he thinks he's like a guru of some sort. I will tell you the mystic reason everybody do a live stream. I don't know why he's Italian in this voice. Si, signore. Do the live stream to give you the magic spell. Do I have any grenades? Oh, I've got a Mark II pineapple. Like I said, I've got an F1 somewhere. Yeah, that's not a Mark II pineapple. It's pretty similar. But... oh, that German shooting at me with his fucking field gun. But yeah, pretty similar. F1 grenade though was originally French, and then the Soviets just put way more TNT in it. Oh, that hit the rock in front of me. That hit the rock in front of me. There we go. Go, and then somebody just shelled me. Ooh, oh, it's respawning. I will use the Wolverine then. Yeah, have they got the Wolverine stuck on the rock? I think they've got the Wolverine stuck on the rock. Stupid AIs. See if I can rotate it off. Oh my god, how have the AI managed this? For fuck's sake. Yeah, I think they've fucked this one up because they've literally driven it onto a rock where it's got stuck. Yeah, tank destroyer has been destroyed by a rock. Oh, that guy had no head for a second then. Yeah, see, the AI is trying to get off that rock and it can't because it's obviously... that, again, is one of the problems with vehicles in this game when the AI drives them. Like, again, it's not unique to this game, but you know, where the AI drives the vehicle into a position you just can't recover it from. Because they probably just tried to beeline towards an objective, and then they've just got it stuck on the scenery. It's quite like Enlisted, except there's no pay to win in it. Well, I suppose Enlisted isn't really pay to win, although it is a little bit. But this is a game that, like, other than the base price of the game and then the price of, you know, any of the proper DLC packs for it, as in, like, you know, like expansions for it, there's, you know, that everybody gets access to the same stuff when you get the game, kind of thing. And again, you can play it online with other people, but like I said, I'm just playing with the AI. But it is kind of like Enlisted how it works, yeah, especially if you're playing it online with a set number of player slots, and if you had more AI set in the player slots, you just, yeah, pick NPCs to jump into. So yeah, I can kind of see the similarity to Enlisted. Yeah, I don't know, because like I said, the problem is with War Thunder is I think Gaijin is just going to do whatever they think is going to sell them the most money. You know, make them the most money through Golden Eagles or whatever it is they use in that. Oh, the cushion I'm on, by the way, did wash up completely fine, and I dried it, and it's all right. So yeah, I have literally washed everything that got covered in coffee yesterday. Like I said, it was mostly the keyboard that got fucked, despite the fact the least amount of coffee went on that. But at the moment, I'm probably just going to use sippy kind of cups like this whenever I'm drinking on a live stream to avoid spilling anything. That's just boring water in there, by the way. But I might see if I can get one of those, like, travel coffee mugs. So if I want to make coffee or tea and have it on a live stream, I can have it in, like, you know, a sort of sippy cup type thing, so I can't be a retard and spill it everywhere while I'm streaming, like yesterday. It might be because wasn't I the guy that jumped out of the tank, the tank destroyer? So I probably basically more like a rear echelon guy that gets that because I'm not a proper infantryman, would be my guess. But that's one of the things I like in this, that they've modelled loads of like the reserve type guns as well. Like, you know, how there's the MP38 as well as the MP40 in this and stuff like that. And that, you know, you get the Italians and the French and New Zealanders and Kiwis and everything like that, that, you know, well, New Zealanders are Kiwis. I mean, I don't have enough experience of them to say what I would like or not like. I mean, top break ones I think are pretty cool, like Webleys and all that. Again, the swing, when I had the old, what do you call it? Oh, that was a German I was looking at there. When I had that blank firing one that I technically had to surrender, although because it had broken prior to that period, I didn't surrender it. I just ground it down for parts, basically, because it was broken already. The old, yeah, like, swing out revolver I had of that type I didn't mind, but again, I wasn't using it for any serious uses. Oh my god, it looks like a tiger. What am I even in? Oh, Wolverine. Oh, this Wolverine isn't stuck. Okay, let's let me position this in a better angle then. Right, I'm gonna take it with the gun. So we've got that guy over there. Again, I don't know the elevation for the shells. Leave the shot go out there. Oh, he's stopping. Oh, good hit, okay. Now let's shoot at that tiger-sized thing over there. Okay, maybe a little bit higher than where I aimed. Out there. Please going left. Tracks destroyed, okay, can't move. And he's side on to us, so... I only have AP, I don't have heat annoyingly. Tracks destroyed. So again, he can't move, but you can still use his gun. Hold damage. Alright, let's yeah, the problem with AP is it loses power over distance, unlike heat rounds. Let's push up. Fair enough, yeah. Again, that's the attitude, Oscar, that again, like I said, with the British government constantly shitting on us, hasn't worked to quell any nationalist identity over here. Because just telling people they're fucking racists and bigots and whatever hasn't fucking, you know, worked for them. So, yeah. Generally telling people not to do something for no reason doesn't actually stop them wanting to do something. You'd have to explain why it's a bad idea and actually make a convincing argument. Right, that was actually a good hit because I killed a crew member and to the track. Let's see if I can get the engine deck. Right, there we go. A bit lower for his tracks. Oh, that was a good hit. That was better than I was expecting as he moved into that shot. Yeah, exactly. And apparently, what's really funny is they've doubled down on it, the retards that made that game. Like, they keep saying it's only because of bigots and fascists and racists that this happened, And I don't know if it's them, but there's apparently another, like, sort of similar thing to Pathways, that if that company didn't make it, some similar lefty company did for the government, which is going to backfire just as badly. You know, like where you go to a virtual mosque or something so you can learn about Islam and all shit like that. I don't know if the game lets you bring, like, petrol cans and whatever in with you, probably not. But it's not going to work. The funny thing is, as much as I used to take the piss out of Zoomers politically don't seem to be putting up with any of this bullshit like my generation did when I was growing up. So, you know, I will say that for the Zoomers, that the Zoom boys at least tend to be pretty fucking based when it comes to politics. So, you know, I don't like their slang with the for real or fire, whatever it is, FRFR, and their broccoli hair, but they are oh, there's a stucker. But, yeah. I might do another Amelia video fairly soon, but I need to think of a good idea for it, because I don't want to just crank them out for the sake of cranking them out. But they do get a lot more views than my normal videos, which, you know, keeps a roof over my head and that sort of thing. One of those Amelia videos got like 200 odd quid since I made it. It's not bad. 200 something pounds. No cap for real or whatever it is. I like how you can see the shells in the thing as well that you haven't fired yet. Oh, again, that's a scary sound. Oh dear, that wasn't going for me, thank fuck. But yeah. Stuka. Oh, there's a 109 there as well. The enemy has a lot of planes, I take it. Right. Let's sit on this hill, and I'm going to go on the gun, and we're going to shoot at some tanks. I know I'm going to be a massive silhouette up here, but I should have at least a good angle on their armour. Right. Does my gun have enough depression to aim at him? Yes, okay. Let's line up another shot. Right, that's one down. Oh, so that's a regular. Yeah, fuck you then. Oh. Okay, this is a write-off. Yeah, again, it's a like pink hair, purple hair art hoe, isn't it? Yeah, for some reason. Oh, you can actually see your legs in this. Again, wow, this isn't a thing in AAA games, is it? Very often. Oh, I'm fucked. Whoops. Oh, I can actually play as a P40 now. Cool. Warhawk. Oh, oh dear, I'm being shot at. 109, 109. I can't remember if this plane's good at turning or if it's a zoom and boom plane. I know the 109 is more of a zoom and boom plane. Right, coming in Fritz. At least that was 50 cals on this, it's American. The other 109's on my tail. Yeah, I'm getting fucked. There's only one of me and there's two 109s, that's not bad. Right, where is he? There he is. Right, let's head on like retards. We gun! You can't actually stall out in the setting I'm in. Basically in this game, the airplanes are not very realistic at all until you put them on a more realistic mode. You can literally put your plane on, you know, like dive up like 90 degrees, and you never lose speed in like the setting I've got on. I'm just keeping it on that because it means I don't have to learn the plane mechanics, so I just jump into pilot a plane. And because the AI will still fly perfectly anyway, you know, you're at a massive disadvantage if you get into a dogfight and you've got your plane set to realism mode, and the AI is just flying like they'd fly anyway. Yeah, again, they are completely out of touch, the people that make these sort of things. Again, they're just doing it for the massive profits of like, oh, some woke government's paying us to make some woke nonsense. Okay, then. Yeah. Making a woman that's interested in you be racist, this will deter racism. No, it won't. Like, most guys do whatever to get laid, so if a girl is racist and it gets you laid, wow, that's a bonus. You know, a nationalist guild that'll make you get laid. Wow. You know. Like, when I was at school, you had to fucking hide your power level to try and get laid. You didn't, you know, and again, this is the problem why you get lots of these soy boy type things, is because they think that's how they're going to get some pussy. So yeah, if you could literally say, I want to stand up for my country and my rights, and that gets girls wet, wow, that's great. You know, and if you're gay, if you want to have a bit of boy, bum, you know, whatever, I don't care. Like I said, that's up for you, but I'm just saying, it's just a funny, you know, thing of how out of touch these idiots are. Fucking Semon Venti thing is dangerous as shit. I don't have any Mark II grenades left either. Right, I'm just going to run over to one of those field guns and see if I can take over it. Yeah, I got picked on a lot at school, and I very rarely got in fights, but if I got in fights, those people never bullied me again, because even if I didn't win the fight, I bloodied them up enough that, you know, they thought, you're not an easy target. And I had tard strength if I actually got involved in the fight. Because like I said, I'd rather not be violent with people, but you know, if you get pushed too far and it comes to violence, then you're going to get fucking violence. And like I said, that's how I see a lot of political stuff as well, where, you know, people push people too far and then they get the nastiest outcome. Hello. Whereas, you know, that's why I'd rather resolve things in a sensible way, you know, prior to that. But again, there's lots of people that don't get that they think, oh, we'll keep suppressing sensible speech and all that, and then they're surprised when another Hitler-type figure comes along. Like, yeah, let us deal with things sensibly and rationally before it gets that far. But if you keep trying to lock people up for mild stuff, don't be surprised when they think the only option left is political violence. But again, the type of political people we get over here are so fucking moronic anyway. Oh, is that a Stuka? Hello, Stuka. He does have a tail gunner though, so I do need to watch out for that. And Stukas are actually kind of annoying in this because they're so fucking slow. They can actually be quite hard to throttle down to their, Right, I've got one of their crew members. Right, there's a 109 trying to get me now. Yeah, Amelia Pitcher probably would rage bait libs. Ooh, hello. Go over after that 109. Again, because there's two fucking 109s, but we only get one Warhawk. Two 109s and a Stuka, yeah, that's fair. Because it's not like they can just team up on you. And again, the Stukas can be dangerous in this game. Because as much as Stukas are slow and kind of bullet magnets, they have a tail gunner, and if you're distracted by 109s, they can just easily come in and just strafe you. Oh, fucking again. Okay. Yeah, you get a Kanye. But yeah, last time I got him fighting the school, when I was at school, I smashed a chair over a bully's head and he never bullied me again after that. So, you know. And again, that's not like the kind of thing I would say is a good idea, but, you know, the teachers didn't step in when it was mild bullying and it got worse and worse, and he tried to get one of his mates to hold my arms behind my back while he got some punches off on me. I grabbed the fucking chair and hit him over the head with it. Wonder what planes ramming into each other? Probably a fair bit. I know there's some quite famous pilots that died to things you wouldn't expect they'd have died to. I don't know, because you'd have to be playing in, like, probably later war period battles. But it might be. I'll have to look. Because again, like I said, they've modelled lots and lots of stuff that isn't, you know, all that commonly seen in games. Because like I said, the fact Britain's in this is great, because a lot of games like this don't even have Britain in them full stop. Once this match ends, regardless if I win or lose, before I go off, I'll show you all the different campaigns that are in this. Bear in mind, I've got a lot of, like, custom ones downloaded, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Mosquito's in this. Because, like I said, there is shitloads of, you know, like the Italians are in this and everything. Oh shit, I missed the 88. Oh, thank fuck, he didn't get a good shot on me. There we go. that another 88? Oh, that was fun. Quick, load gun, load, loader, load. Oh, hello. That's scary. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Load AP, load AP, load AP, load AP. I am fucked. Yeah, we got fucked. Okay. Erica. Right, let's have a look at the campaigns then before I end the stream, just so you guys can see what is and isn't available in the game. Like I said though, because like I said, they've added both free and paid for DLC to this game. Because like I said, they are the people who recommended this to me were absolutely spot on that this is the sort of game I'd like. Because sometimes people recommend me games that are not my style of games at all, but this is you know, the kind of thing I like, because you know, I'm willing to... Right, I'm just going to move for now the chat window. 1 second. Can't remember if I can do this without doing that. I think I'm going to have to uncrop it. There we go. And then I need to probably do the... yeah, turn off click-through. Right, how do I move this around now? Because... oh, there we go. I just do it like that. Right, let me just move that over here for now. Go back to the game. Right, and then we can see what... right, so there's Battle of Anzio. So I haven't actually done that one. That surprises me, unless it's lost some of my saves. So obviously American... Oh, there's British stuff as well in that one. Casino, as in Monte Cassino. So that probably has Polish troops later on in that one. Tunisia, I was just doing the Southern Operation, and I was right by the end of that. And I've completed the Northern Operation before, because that was out much earlier on in the game's development. When you see a tick next to it, it means obviously one tick just means you've completed the mission on whatever side. If you've got a tick on both flags, it means obviously you've completed that mission as both sides. Somebody just sent me a message. Right, Battle of Kos, I've done all that one. That's the one where, like, you're Italy after switching sides. But again, playing as Italy is nearly fucking impossible on all these missions. Because the Germans just fucking, you know, roll over you. Operation Flintlock, so that's US versus Japan. Battle of Makin, haven't done any of that one. Actually, I've done that one map there somehow. I guess this was a campaign that was organised differently at one point. Invasion of France, haven't done any of that. I might quickly just do one of the Invasion of France missions. So that's in the France 1940 Bulge DLC. Okay, Battle of Bulge DLC. Battle of Stalingrad, haven't done any of that yet, but load of Overlord, haven't even started Overlord yet. Oh, of course it's got Gold Beach and Juno and everything. I think it was Sword my granddad landed at, I can't remember. I don't think it was Gold, I think it was Sword. Is that Aramanches? Battle of the Bulge, haven't done any of that yet. Battle of Shanghai. I've done all of that. Again, with those, I just did them on the missions that weren't bullshit, because some of them were easier as Japan, some were China. Nanking, I've done all of that one. Again, some missions were easier as China, some were easier as Japan. That's obviously a mod, that one. Yeah, oh, it says workshop, 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 doesn't it? I like the World at War mod, Spain at War and China at War. Ah, cool, because again, the China at War ones, some of those are included. But yeah, if there's the Spanish Civil War, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, let's just see the Invasion of France one quickly before I go off. We'll do the first mission of that. So, Invasion of France. Donchery Blitz. Let's put the unit count right up though. We're just going to do single mission. I don't want to do all that. I just want to put it to full campaign and I'll just quit after the first one. So we'll put it to 250%, 140 units, so like roughly 70 on each side. I imagine it's going to be easier playing as Germany than France during the invasion of France, because now it went for the French. Right, let me put the, you trying to Shanghai me? I don't know that saying myself, but... Right, let me just pop that back over here, and then... Right, let's not play as the French, because they're losers. Right. Oh, I've got the Sturker. I've got the Sturker. Right, I guess I am attacking, obviously, because I'm Germany, so... Defenders of France, and they're going to fucking lose. And that's close. Wonder what frog plane that is. Ah, you're down. Ah, you got stuck with your shit. I got you with my stucker. Right, Oh, the rearm zone isn't very far away, isn't it? I am Dieter Brandenburger. Yeah, okay, I might have to check this out, but like I said, I like Games Workshop support because it just gives you a lot more longevity out of the game, doesn't it? And I'm going to have to go get some food as well after I finish the stream, because although I had a bit of, like, breakfasty early lunch today, I haven't had much to eat today. Yeah, again, if the Germans had actually not gone round the Maginot Line for the most part and all this sort of stuff, they might have actually put up a bit of a fight, France, but France just got steamrolled way too quick. Because there's a lot of arguments that if, you know, very early on when France and Britain declared war on Germany, if they'd have actually tried to invade Germany then, you know, the war might have been over much faster. When you pause the video, do you still hear the Stucker siren? Yeah, I love the Stucker siren, mein Jericho trumpet. Trumpenter, Jericho. Well, I suppose that's one bad thing, but at least you got fresh chicken out of it. So it was just an aggressive chicken, wasn't it? Oh, there's a load of frogs. Bombs away! I wonder, did you actually get a kill count in this game by pressing on the buttons? Because I'm always wondering these sort of games, just how many fucking people I kill when I'm playing like the Stucker and just strafing. Like poor fucking infantry. Oh, is there a plane trying to get my planet? Ah, you want to play the fighter game? I am not a fighter, but... Ooh, ooh. Right. Let's see if I can turn on them. At least Stuckers kind of can turn, even though they're slow as shit because of the big wing coverage. Right. You actually have to throttle down with it, I think, on this gun. Right, he's down. Alright. Yeah, I don't know much about Moltke or whatever his name is, but yeah. Like I said, France was very brave and all that during World War One, but France kind of just fucked up during World War Two. Especially, like I said, a lot of the French leadership, where it was either sell out to the Germans or be like fucking de Gaulle and ho ho ho, I am just going to be in Britain and then you need to let me ride in on the victory parade like I was the one that liberated France. And then later on when he was saying like he wanted the Americans out of France and was it Truman said to him, including the ones under your soil, because basically, yeah, loads of Americans died liberating you, and then this is how you know, go back on it, because, oh, we don't want to be in NATO. Baguette. Yeah, again, like I said, France was cool when it was Napoleon, and they did fight very bravely in World War One, but in World War Two and that, they went back to being the kind of arrogant, sort of anti-social dickheads that you know, they quite often can be. And again, this is the thing I don't like with Macron, that he keeps doing things to fuck over Britain, and then they're like, oh, why doesn't Britain want to be part of Europe? And you keep fucking it up. But again, this is the good thing, is Maloney in Italy currently, and is it Schultz? Not Schultz. Alright, Rich, I'm afraid I've been on absolutely ages, so I'm off quite soon. And it's not Schultz, is it? Schultz is the previous one. Whatever the current German leader's called. They're apparently much better at being like, oh, maybe we should just be nice to Britain and actually cooperate with Britain, rather than just being like, trying to piss Britain off non-stop, because that doesn't really get you anywhere. Yeah, and then they got bogged down. Again, muddy seasons are never good, are they, whenever you're trying to invade anywhere? Because your vehicles all get stuck, or your horses get stuck, and whatever else. Oh, we've got a fighter again. They're fucking slow, these French trains. Come on. Crime scene cleaner. No, I've got, not that one, but I've got, what's it, visceral cleanup duty or whatever it is. Oh, now he's speeding off, okay. But I barely played that. Again, that was one of those games I got really cheap in a Steam, like, bundle sale or something, and didn't play much of. Schedule 1 is like the only kind of recent crime game I've been playing. And I haven't played much of that since the Shrooms update, to be honest. The Schedule 1, again, is a good indie game that, you know, is made by somebody else who wants to make a good game as opposed to being some boring AAA person. But yeah, like I said, at the moment, I really need to just start working through my Steam backlog rather than wasting my money on new games. Like I said, the only game that currently I might be interested in is that new Resident Evil, but I'm going to wait for it to come out first and see if proper independent reviewers say it's any good or not. Because if it ends up being a sort of, you know, one of those games that's overhyped and then runs like shit, there's no point in buying it at full price. But there's another French plane. Down. But would you recommend Crime Scene Cleaner? Because like I said, I don't know much about it. Alright, let's go get some more bombs. Probably way too low out to shoot the top of 500 kg or whatever it was. Are my team actually doing anything, or are they still at the same place they were at the beginning of the map? Like, not managed to take over any land? Okay, if it's on sale at some point, I might have a look. They've definitely got that objective, but that, like, destroyed looking house back there, they still obviously not taking over. There's only so many Frenchmen I could gun down in my Stuka for them. Well, again, then I wouldn't make any money, would I? If there weren't ads during live stream. Again, I keep meaning to check out Road to Vostok, I just don't remember to do it. Probably check it out after I come back from my little holiday I'm going on fairly soon. Oh, there's a plane. Again, I think people don't realise that, again, if you're a regular creator on YouTube, adverts are how you get an income from it. If you have an ad blocker or whatever else, those people aren't going to make any money. Again, you could get YouTube Premium, that's your other alternative. I personally use YouTube Premium because it means I get absolutely no adverts on YouTube whatsoever. And, you know, because I use YouTube and I don't really watch TV, it makes total sense for me to get that because, again, what's it like? £11 a month, I think, YouTube Premium. You know, having no ads is such a good, nice thing. Again, it really pisses me off how other platforms, like, say, Amazon Prime Video now do the thing of, like, what do you call it? That, you know, like, oh, here's a video, like service you're paying for, but now we're going to stick ads in it unless you you know, pay extra money to not get ads. I think that's a really shitty business model. But again, if it's a free service anyway that relies on advertising, just having a pay a monthly fee to not see ad thing, I don't mind. Yeah, exactly, Brown Street, that's the same logic I use, because I just use YouTube so much and I don't watch conventional media much anymore. You know, I just like the fact of not having ads. Oh, yeah, there's at least 3 French planes now. Yeah, so I'm actually having to worry about dogfighting them now, because one of them will probably try and get on my tail when I'm shooting down one of the other ones. Right. Well, at least I've got a tail gunner, I suppose. Yeah, it is actually a dogfight now. Right, let's gain some velocity by diving, because at least Stukas can dive, they've got the G tolerance for it. Right, let's loosen my bombs as well, get a bit more speed. I don't know if that actually affects anything when you're not in simulator mode, not having your bombs, but Ooh. Yeah, it's a lot more challenging when they have more than one fighter, because you can't just concentrate on one. Right, let's go for this guy now. There's mates coming back in to help him. I'm a close air support plane. Please get off of my rear so I can engage your ground forces. Oh, he's on my tail again, that guy. Right, that one's down. Oh, it's coming back round. He's chasing me really far away from the battlefield now. Right, let's stall out and see if he goes past me. This might either work fine or be really dumb. Yeah, there we go. Yes, fuck you. Weapons and stuff. I wish I was a gun store. I mean, I have got a lot of shit hardware behind me, but sadly not a lot of actual live guns or anything like that. Right, let's get the repair. My gunner at least is still alive, because if your gunner dies, like your tail gunner, and you go through like that repair rearm thing, it won't replace your tail gunner. They're like gone permanently. Right. There's trees in the way there. Oh, we have got a second Stuka, is that there? Yep. Second Stuka, so that's at least good when the enemy planes turn back up. Right. So they're trying to take that crossroads, I guess. I'm not even getting the dive siren at the moment because I'm not actually coming in from a high enough thing to gain enough velocity. Yeah, I can't remember if it's France, but I know there's a couple of countries in Europe, because people have talked about me about it in the comments, where apparently you can't have guns in like military calibers, but you can have them in other weird, almost the same calibers. So there's like a market for like slightly a couple of millimeter different cartridges. Right, here we go. Are we going to get a siren? Oh, maybe they broke my dive siren or something, I don't know. I should be getting a dive siren, I'm disappointed. Oh shit, that was, yeah, pretty fast. Yeah, like I said, Poland's a very nice country. I like Poland a lot. Because, like I said, I prefer the Poles to the French people, let's put it that way. And yeah, I just wish I knew when I went to Poland that I could have just literally gone to a gun range with a load of money and said, hello, I'm an Englishman, can I shoot a load of your guns? And they'd have said, fine. I just wish I knew that last time I went to Poland. I have to go again at some point. Ooh. Was there a plane trying to get on my tail then, or was that just ground fire? Look. Roughly, yeah. Yeah, it's just ground fire. Oh, but my plane is quite damaged, so we better fly through that repair thing. Yeah, you can get cap and balls mail order here, but they have to be like I said, whatever the date is. You can't sadly just buy like modern what are they, like Piettas or the other ones, mail order. Oh, there's one again. And it at my 6. Yeah, again, that's a nice thing, because like I said, that's one of the annoying things in the UK with the black powder stuff. They've specifically stopped you getting repros, so you can't get cheap you know, to make the prices higher to, again, so probably so criminals don't get them, but still frustrating. Oh, fuck this. I'll just kamikaze. I want to play as an infantryman until the last of it. Oh, I can get Panzer A. Okay. Just like a machine gun Panzer, essentially. Oh, get out of my way! Oh, whoops. Yeah. Terrain, pull up! Terrain, pull up! Like shooting frogs in a barrel. Oh, my tank is fucked. Alright, time to use the ghetto blaster. Oh, that's what the anti-air problem was. Oh my god, Rainer Schroeder is tot. Oh, I can get a guy with an MG34, let's do that. Are you winning some? Yeah, I believe I am winning. I have killed many Frenchmen, but I need to kill more. Yeah, so that sounds like pretty good laws to me. Alright, so we're now pushing up to that thing. This game does have the problem though that there's grass in the way. You know, where the AI can blatantly, like most games, see through the grass, but as a human you can't. Get some. I don't know where those shells are coming down really close to me, but whatever. Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, only took you half a month and... ooh, nearly got crushed by that house. Half a month and $150, yeah, not bad at all. Gun license in the UK now would probably take you months and months and cost you a fortune. Because, you know, if the police decide, no, you can't have it, then you're going to have to hire a really good solicitor to try and argue your case. Out my fucking way, I'm trying to machine gun throat. If he died to my friendly fire, he deserved it for getting in the way of my machine gun. Yeah, not bad at all, is it? $64. That's interesting. But yeah, again, I don't know how I feel about certain felonies stopping people owning guns, because I kind of understand it if it's like, you know, like you've done a really violent crime and it means you're probably a shitty person, and I can completely get why, you know, they'd want to stop you having guns for that reason. But also, you know, I kind of think in some countries that if you know, the right to bear arms is kind of like a constitutional thing, you probably shouldn't even stop criminals doing it. Okay, so it has to only be like a violent felony, does it, in Ohio? And yeah, so does it change depending on state to state in the US? It's not just a, not just like a uniform thing, if that makes sense. What is that, Kentucky Ballistics? I don't know what you mean. And again, is a gun tuber just a YouTuber that does gun videos? Because again, it's like when people say like VTubers, bread tubers, all these fucking terms, I never know what they mean. Oh, so it's interesting, in Alaska. So if you're a felon and you really want a gun, you can move to Alaska then, basically. Yeah, get some. Get some, get some. For anyone who runs is a frog. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined frog. Right, I'm out of MP40 ammo. Okay. Is anybody dead near me? Oh shit, there's lots of Frenchmen everywhere. Oh, it's like I'm in France or something. Oh, I'm dead. Augustrasse. Alright, I am Eric Stein. And I have my little Walther P38. Yeah, I think the Stuka Siren's not working properly. It's probably actually just a case of all the sounds going off. You probably just overload the like internal game sound thing. So I think that's happened before in this game. You know, if you've got too many units on the map at once, like certain sounds start cutting off, like gunfire, all that, because there's just too many like explosions and gunshot sounds for the game to keep up with them. I'll look at your comment properly in a moment about check carry, because I've just got too many Frenchmen in the way at the moment. So he's got something, maybe anti-tank rifle. Let's grab that. Mass 36, okay. Get some ammo for that Mass 36. Yeah. Oh, are those the ones where, yeah, if you put two rifles together the wrong way or whatever, you can lock the two rifles together? I think I've seen a Forgotten Weapons video on that. Whose accents are not over the top enough. I'm playing as a German at the moment, not a Frenchman. So yeah, you're saying, sorry, Czech Republic is only a European country with inter-European carry laws. Any EU citizen can legally carry guns in Czechia as long as the country they come from also has inter-European carry laws. Ah, interesting. Right, I want to get that guy's SMG. Where's his ammo? Where's his ammo? Oh, I'm dead because I was looking for the inventory for ammo. I wish there was an option in this game to like take gun and ammo, so you don't have to like go, ooh, where's their ammo? Where's their ammo? And like look for their inventory for it. Oh, they are very long. They are very from them over here. This stuff has really flown a long way away. It did, not big surprise. Probably having a dogfight. Like the AI was probably dogfighting each other and just gone completely off the edge of the map. They do that sometimes. But because it's like actually a huge map, even if the playable area is quite small, yeah, the AI sometimes just like chases another AI all the way off the map. Oh, hello. Oh, just as I get to the front again. Helicopter. 1432 French casualties. Right, that'll do me for playing this today and streaming. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been quite a long one today. I'm gonna need to really go get some dinner now. Don't know if there's any chips in the freezer. I'll have a look and then chuck some in the air fryer, I think. But yeah, right, have a good day everybody. And I will see you all hopefully tomorrow for a stream. That will be good, yeah.